I still remember the night the truth came out, and how the whole house went silent like somebody had died. Her name was Amara. She had been working in our house for almost 2 years. Everyone just called her house girl. She was quiet, always minding her business, always looking down when you spoke to her. She never argued, never asked for too much. But there was something about her eyes I could never explain. They carried a kind of sadness, but sometimes, if you looked too long, you would feel a shiver, like there was something she wasn't telling anyone. Amara's story, at least what we knew, was simple. She came from a small village. Her uncle brought her to Lagos and gave her to Madam. Madam treated her like dirt. She shouted at her, insulted her, sometimes even slapped her. If food burned, it was Amara's fault. If Oga was angry, somehow, it was Amara's fault. Still, Amara never complained. She would just bow her head and say, "Yes, ma." But then everything changed when Oga's father, the billionaire, died. He left behind so much wealth, land, houses, and companies. Oga and his siblings started fighting like wild animals. They accused each other of hiding properties. The matter entered court. The judge ordered DNA tests to confirm all true heirs, because some women were already bringing children, claiming the man was their father. We thought it was family drama, nothing that concerned us. Until one strange day, I overheard Madam quarreling on the phone. She said something that made me stop in my tracks: that girl will never enter this family. Even if the blood matches over my dead body. That was the first time I realized Amara's name was being mentioned in the inheritance fight. At first, I thought it was a joke. How could our house help be connected to that rich family? But whispers started spreading. Some elders claimed Amara's mother once worked for the billionaire 2 years ago, before disappearing mysteriously. The day the DNA results came out, the whole house was tense. I was in the compound, sweeping, when I heard shouting from the living room. I rushed in and saw Madam on the floor, rolling, screaming, "It's a lie. It's a lie." Her wrapper was almost falling off. Oga's brother was holding the paper, reading it again and again like he couldn't breathe. The result was clear, 99.9% match. Amara was the billionaire's first daughter. The atmosphere changed instantly. The same people who used to insult her were now calling her "my dear" and "our daughter." They ran to hug her, begging her not to be angry at how she was treated. But Amara just stood there, silent, her face blank. She didn't cry, didn't smile. She just looked at them like strangers. That night, I found her in the kitchen, sitting alone. The whole house was still buzzing, but she sat like she wasn't part of it. She finally looked at me and said something that has never left my mind. If they knew what happened in that house, they would not want me as daughter. Her voice was low, almost like a whisper, but it chilled me to my bones. I wanted to ask her what she meant, but the way her eyes looked, I froze. It was like she carried a secret so heavy, so dark, it could crush anyone who heard it. The next day, she moved out of the servants' quarters into the master's wing. Her old small mattress was thrown away, and she now slept in one of the guest rooms with marble floors. But since then, strange things started happening. Madam, who used to torment Amara, suddenly fell sick. She couldn't walk without help. The doctors said nothing was wrong, but her body kept getting weaker. Oga's brother had a car accident a week later, almost losing his life. Even some of the cousins started fighting violently among themselves, like something was pushing them into madness. People in the compound started whispering. Some said it was coincidence. Others said Amara had not just come back as a lost daughter, she came back carrying something else. Some nights, I would hear her talking in her room, but when I checked, she would be alone. Sometimes, her shadow on the wall looked bigger than her body. Now, when she walks through the compound, dressed in fine clothes like a queen, everyone bows their head. But I always remember that night in the kitchen, her whisper echoing in my ears. If they knew what happened in that house. And even now, when I lie in bed at night, I can't sleep. I keep asking myself, what really happened in that billionaire's house years ago?